Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Been about 2, maybe 3 weeks now since I posted a video, and I do apologise. That's because the Fiat 500 is still off having the chassis work repaired on it. We've been waiting on parts from Italy. They were told to be on a 2 to 3 day delivery, and now we're on week 3 and we're still no further with the repair of that. I'm getting pretty bored. I want to get on and do something, and obviously YouTube content has been lacking. So to fix that, I've bought another car. Let's go check it out. Okay guys, so if you follow us on Instagram, you'll have had a preview as to what vehicle is behind me right now. So if you don't already follow us on Instagram, check out the information in the description. Go and give us a follow there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, then please hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification icon, so every time I post a new video you guys are aware of it. And yeah, if you like what you're seeing, please comment in the description. I'll try and reply to all the comments from anybody, and give us a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing. Use the thumbs down button if you don't like what you're seeing, and then kind of feedback to me how I can improve on all of this. But let's have a look what we've managed to get from Copart, and it was a bargain. ...2017 Renault Clio Dynamique. S repairable structural is the category, so obviously that means that there's structural damage that can be repaired, but ultimately it's not a category B, it's not a write-off. There's a bit of an interesting story on this. I was not intending on buying this car. I was looking at various other cars, and this one came up in the auction just in the next one in the list, and it kind of popped up, and I was looking at it quickly on the description, kind of scanned through everything, and I was like, 2017 model, 23,000 miles, and watching what other stuff's been going for, it's been going really high, and this said there's a guide price, estimated retail value of £8,000. I won this car, I say won this, I initially won this car for £1,150. And I couldn't believe it when the auction said sold subject to approval. Then something happened which I didn't know would happen until I spoke to Sam from SLR Rebuilt. They basically had a reserve on this car. The insurance company had a reserve on this car, and they went to do a counter bid. So that basically means that they wanted a specific amount of money for the car, and they had to then sort of see where I was willing to go to to kind of meet what their reserve was. Now their reserve was £2,200, so £1,050 more than what I won the car for. Now there are fees that go onto that afterwards, but they're only nominal at sort of a low price. So 2 days went by. I went up by like £100, £50 on my offer. They came down by £100, £50 on their offer, and then I got up to about £1,500, which was kind of the maximum I could afford to go to on another build. I left it. It said awaiting their response, and next thing you know, I get an email. We've won it. We've actually won the car for £1,500 plus the fee. So this is a lot of car for me, and it's so new. I mean, I run around in a 2009 C-Max because it's practical. The kids can make a mess in the back and I don't really care, and it's good for collecting parts for Fiat 500s and other cars that have been broken. But yeah, so £1,500. So with the fee, just so I'm completely transparent, so you know how much you spent, with the fee it was £1,880, and it cost me around about 70 quid, I think it was, maybe plus the VAT, to get it delivered here from Sandy. So not too far away, we're only Peterborough, so it's not a massive distance. So we're talking sub £2,000 for a 2017 Renault Clio Dynamique, which is in really good condition inside, and all the bodywork's good with the exception of the crash damage. Now you'll notice all these little white marks all over. These are basically the insurance company doing an assessment, looking at what damage is on the car. These white marks relate to stupid little scratches, and I'm not kidding. There's a scratch behind there, and that's what they've marked out. I don't know if you can see that tiny little scratch. So if you walk around it with all the marks on it, you think, oh god, this thing's got damage on every single panel. It's not. They can be polished out, that can be improved. There's a couple of little spots on the rear where it's gone through the paint, but we might be able to do smart repair on there, or we might even just be able to touch it up and then kind of flash it back and polish it. But ultimately, I've got myself a Renault Clio for less than £2,000. So let's see if we can fix it for a reasonable price. Now if it costs me, I know, another couple of thousand to fix it, I know the dash and all the rest of it's between sort of £250 and £450 for a new dash, with all the airbags, with the SRS module, with everything else. And then say it cost me £2,000 to have the whole front end, you know, buy a new bonnet and all the rest of it. Happy days. Because if that's worth £8,000, now they say £8,000, but obviously being a category car, it's going to be less. So let's say worst case it's worth £6,000, £6,500 at the end of it. It'll be the cheapest one out there because I've looked, and there'll be a good margin of profit in it for me, so I can plumb that into the next build, and then we can just grow and grow and grow the channel. So enough waffling. I'll post a walk around video on the car now. I've done a bit of an interior video, that'll be up there next, and yeah, we'll go from there. Right, so let's have a look at this Clio. It's absolutely teeming it down with rain outside, and therefore that's why I'm doing this from the inside, and so we can have a look. I've not looked at anything yet, just literally done a walk around on it. I don't know what paperwork we've got with the car, if any. We have, however, got a little dinosaur. What else have we got then, apart from kids' toys? Mobile tyre fitting, and no paperwork in there. So I wonder if there's anything under the seats. Not looking promising. I'm guessing this is where the diagnostic port is. I mean, I know absolutely nothing about repairing a Renault Clio, so this is a major learning curve for me now, but I got the car for a good price. And it does have, I'm guessing that's cruise control. I'm guessing that's going to be the diagnostic port under there. We've got one key card to start it. There's just dirt on there. See if the stereo works. Oh, hello. So looks like we've got, oh okay, so we've got Bluetooth phone connection. See if the sat nav works. It does. That's quite handy. How'd you go back? Radio. Do we have DAB? We do have DAB. That's quite cool. And we've got bass reflex speakers. Don't know if they were optional extra, but this is a dynamic, so in theory it should be quite highly spec'd. Excuse me. Our steering wheel controls will still work. So windscreen wipers don't, but that's because the key's not in. Yeah, windscreen wipers work. This is auto, so auto windscreen wipers. Turn that off so you can hear what I'm saying. Air conditioning, which won't work because pretty much all the radiators at the front are smashed just from the initial inspection. Automatic start stop. Check airbag light. Don't believe it'll start. Actually, it's struggling to start. I wonder if it just needs a good charge on the battery. I'm fairly certain, I'm speaking to Sam from SL Rebuilt, he says that the SRS module, when the airbags deploy, will actually stop the car from starting, which is more than likely because this has been bought as a non-runner. But the engine turns, but it just sounded like it was struggling and it was low on battery. So what I'll do is I'll stick a charger on it, see if it works. Better show me. I'll stick a charger on it, see if that works, and if we can get it started, that'll be a bonus. But we're going to have to order the SRS module anyway, I think, because of the airbag deployment. We're going to need replace the old driver's airbag and the passenger, which means a whole new dash, which should be quite exciting because I've not taken a dashboard out of a car before. And the ones I've looked at online are about, you get one with a couple of marks on it which are down here, which I didn't realise actually is going to be quite well hidden by the sat-nav unit. They're at 250 quid complete with the SRS module and all the airbags. So I wasn't going to get it because it had some marks on it, but I might go for the cheaper one now, on the basis that I can take this bit off and replace it. I can take the vents out and put those onto the new dash, and if there is any damage kind of around here, it's going to be hidden anyway, and I'll save myself about 200 quid over buying one that's in A condition at £450. Okay, let's have a look around in the boot. Yeah, just having a quick look in the boot. It's basically just all the mangled bits that have come off it. Don't actually know if that's off the same car, because that must have come off the car that hit into it, because the front part of the car, just the headlight is smashed with the number plate. Obviously this is the wheel arch liner which the transport company took out, which James from Icon Automotive took out because he said it was dragging on the wheel, but that actually looks all right, so should be able to reuse that. Parcel shuffle appears to have the worst design ever, considering it's actually wider than the boot. So what do? Take it in from the front and the back? Yeah. Put that bit back on. So around the back, no damage at all. So everything else is up the front. So let's have a look at the outside in a bit more depth. Let's kind of focus on this area. Now I'm going to strip down, obviously take the bumper off and all the front end so we can see what damage we've got. But if we have a look here, that's the crash bar, and that still extends all the way across and is not caved in. So however this damage happened, I think it hit in this sort of bottom corner, because this is the main areas that seem to be affected. But looking across, there's a small crease in the metalwork there. This bar that goes to here has been bent, and this bit has been bent back, but that can be pulled and straightened. The impact bar can be taken off, and somehow, if you can see there, the radiator has been pushed in all the way back and is completely empty because there's no fluid left in it. If we look at it from an under the bonnet point of view, just get that bonnet open, bear with. So if we get the bonnet open, we can have a look at more depth. I've got the CTEC on it, charging it just to see if the reason why this doesn't start, because yet forgot to mention it's a non-runner, but we believe that's down to the SRS airbag module disabling the car. Everything on this side and everything on that side up to kind of that front bit of the chassis leg is absolutely fine. It's hard to see because there's poor lighting at the moment, so it's kind of localized that everything got shunted in on this corner, so in theory we should be able to pull anything back. This headlight, absolutely fine, and a lot of the plastics, even though they're distorted, these bits are actually not broken, so I should be able to recover this section, because the bumper is essentially made out of a couple of different sections. So you've got the black plastic bit, that's about 80 quid new, primed, ready for paint. You've got the bottom plastic grille here. Now, even though it's all distorted, I've checked the clips and I think this centre section is actually okay. It's going to be the outer side where you've got a daytime running light, and that daytime running light is absolutely fine. So hopefully this upper section is absolutely fine. A couple of the bits of the grills are salvageable, and we'll need to get a headlight and a DRL light and a new main section of the bumper to transfer everything onto. Again, coolant completely empty, and it does turn over, but it just won't start. So again, we think it's that SRS module. Looking around the rest of the car, again, no real damage. The bumper's popped out here, but that'll make it easier for me to take off. And like the actual alignment of the panels, checked all of the alignment, and they actually look pretty good. So I don't think we've got a problem with panel alignment either. So that's probably a good point to stop this video. Just to give you obviously a bit of the insight into the car, see what we've bought, start the new chapter on the Renault Clio, and then the next video will be the strip down of the front end. We'll get all that off, and then we can do a proper assessment as to what we have to deal with. Hopefully, if the weather's good, I might get that done tomorrow, so you might have a double whammy where this video will go up, and then very shortly afterwards another video will go up of the strip down, and then we can build up a parts list, and I can get onto Renault and work out how much the brand new parts are going to cost, and I can also compare that to the cost of looking on eBay. Again guys, if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. Check out some of the content and the information in the descriptions with regards to our Facebook page, with our Instagram page. If you haven't seen any of Sam's videos from SLR Rebuilt, I'll ping one of his videos up here in the corner, or in that corner, yeah, go check out his channel. It's got a lot of information on there. I've picked up a lot of information from him, and I have to thank Sam a lot on this one, because he gave me some guidance on how to do the counter bids from the auction, and he was also really insightful with regards to Renault rebuilding and like obviously the SRS module, because he's done a Twingo. In fact, he's got a really good video of how his mate totaled his Twingo, which he only just bought back after it was up for sale from the customer he originally sold it to. So go check that out. Again, thanks again for watching, and yeah, see you in the next one.